Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today let's go over another premium medium database question that I just solved on my own. So I'm really happy about this, and I'm very glad that I was able to come up with my own solution to this problem without any assistance. So let me show you how I did it. This question is called number of trusted contacts of a customer, number 1364. So essentially there are 4 points here, and if you look at the examples, I thought it was a little easier to understand. Basically, you have all these customers and their invoices, and you have the price. So basically, this is going to be a composite key, as you can see. 44 and 60, for example, the invoice ID would be user ID 6, which is Alex. So Alex and the invoice ID is going to be a composite key. And then from there, you can get the price, which is going to be 60. So you can just copy that here. Pretty much this is going to be the same column here. And then the contacts count is going to be, let's say for user 6, how many different contacts they have. User 1 has 3. So one-to-many relationship between user ID and contact name. And then the trusted contacts, for example, let's take user ID 1. How many are trusted? Well, only 2 of them, because you notice only John and Bob are inside the customers table. Okay, so that's what this part is about. Their email exists in the customers table. And I thought this part was a little confusing, so this clarified it. So yeah, let's just go ahead and start getting all the different pieces of information that we need. First of all, what I like to do is to map the customer ID to the customer name so that we can actually do this instead of having the user ID with the invoice ID. So let's just go ahead and say for I, see, and enumerate customers, customer ID. So the ID is mapped to the customer name. And then now what we need to do is to get the actual invoice ID along with the user ID. So let's just go ahead and make the name just so we'll make it easy. So for I, V, and enumerate invoices, invoice ID. So let's go ahead and create a dictionary. And let's make it of type list, or let's just make this a dictionary, because let's just go ahead and get the price first. Let's take care of these 3 columns before we worry about this. So the invoice ID we have, so let's go ahead and create the composite key, which is going to be the invoice ID and the customer name. Obviously the invoice ID is given to you, so this column follows this, and then the customer name is taken from the user ID mapped back to this dictionary. That's the point of this. So let's just say map of invoices user ID of I, and let's set that just equal to the price. Okay, and let's loop through this dictionary, each key value pair, and let's get the key and the value, which should be the price. Okay, cool. So now that we have these 3 columns taken care of, now let's go ahead and get the contacts count and the trusted contacts count. So the contacts count is just going to be a one-to-many relationship. So let's call this contacts count, or let's just call this cont. First of all, let's go ahead and say, I'm trying to figure out what to name this. Let's just call this cont. Probably not a good name, but that's fine. Serves the purpose of iterating over the contacts. User ID. So then this cont, and we're going to append. Let's add this and make it a set, because we're actually going to want to do that later when we try to figure out how many here are in here, which happens to be 2 in this case. So let's get contacts of contact name. Well, contact name of I. Cool. So now what's the contact count? Well, the contact count is just going to be the length of k of 1. Cont k of 1, because that's k of 1 is going to be Alex plugged in as a key. actually, this is a little nasty, so let's actually move this here. And let's say cont of map of C dot append dot add context. So we got the name instead of the ID of the user directly. Just makes things a little easier. Cool. So now if we print K, DK, and CC, okay, so okay, awesome. So now you can see that we're having these 4 columns. Now the trusted contacts count, let's go ahead and make a set of all the customer names and see how many overlaps there are with the current dictionary's value, which is why I did this as a set. Hopefully that makes sense. So let's call this cust is just going to be a set of customer name. Cool. And then now to get the trusted count is just going to be whatever this key's value is. So how many intersections there are. So the length of, let's just say cust.intersection. Cust is always going to be there. And then we're going to get the how many this user ID maps to. So basically we translate it into a name. That's fine. So let's say cont of k of 1. Okay, because that is going to be a set. And let's go ahead and print TC. Cool. So now that looks like it matches up. Perfect. So last but not least, let's return it ordered by invoice ID. So let's make an answer list. Let's append K, K0, because this is actually a tuple. We want the 0th and the 1st. We don't want a tuple. K1, CC, or DK, that's just the price. CC and TC. And then last but not least, sort it by the invoice ID, which is the first index. Cool. So now we basically have all the data we need just to validate that. Cool. So now we just want to go ahead and gather each row. And so let's make 5 arrays for V in answer. Let's just say a.append v0 each column. Column 2, column 3, price, column 4, contacts count, 0, 1, 2, 3, and column 5, which is a trusted contacts count. Cool. So now let's create a data frame, set each of the columns. Price, and then trusted contacts counts, and then just return this at the end, right? So return that data frame. Okay, let's run this, submit it, and there you go, passes all test cases. So again, I'm super happy that I was able to come up with my own solution to this question without any help and solve it completely on my own. And also 100% runtime in memory, which is usually pretty rare for solutions that are my very own and that, again, I come up with by myself. So I'm pretty happy about that. And that's it for this video. Thank you for watching and stay tuned for more.